currently, the kinds of freedom we are enjoying, they are too unfettered. You cannot enjoy freedom and have development at the same time. One will give way to the other. Countries that enjoyed absolute freedom, they never had development. Countries that had development, they didn't entirely enjoy freedoms. Development comes at a certain cost.
Right.
And then we go at it. When the president does that, he will not enjoy 2 terms. He would only have 1 term. But at least he should be content that in my time, I did X, Y, Z, and posterity will judge me well.
Exactly.
June 4, the coup was organized. Jerry was released. He didn't organize the coup because he was in jail.
Yeah.
So they organized the coup, and because he was a popular person, they put him in charge to gain acceptance. So from June 4 to September 24th, he was the head of state. They did something they called house cleaning, and then they handed over. There was something interesting about the handing over. On the day of the handing over, strangely, he didn't want to hand over again. So the program that was set to start at 9 o'clock started at 2 p.m.
From now on today, we must change our attitudes, our minds. We must realize that from now on, we are no more a colonial, but a free and independent people.
So having said that, how should the modern Ghana remember Kotoka? As a hero, as a villain? What do you think?
You see, you do not join the military, become an officer, rise to the level of a general, and be an ordinary person. So certainly, this is somebody who has contributed to the development of our country. Kwame Nkrumah himself gave him a medal, Distinguished Service Order. So clearly, this was a distinguished military officer. Maybe the mistake was that because the government felt bad about his death, they tried to immortalize him by naming too many things after him.
Right.
Maybe on hindsight, 1 or 2 things would have been fine. I mean, for all that Akufo-Addo has done, I mean, Edward Akufo-Addo, we only have a roundabout named after him near the Togo Embassy in cantonments. For all that Liman has done, we have 1 university named after him in the north. And so I think that we need to be a bit fair and balanced when we are eulogizing our people. And I think in the case of Kotoka, he certainly has to be eulogized as a hero of our country. But the issue is what
to do for him.
Exactly.
So are we justified by changing the international airport?
The name was Accra International Airport. I think that going back to Accra International Airport is fantastic. We should find something else to name Kotoka after. I don't believe in naming and renaming and renaming. And that will never get anywhere. There's a reason why something is named. Once it's named, it should stay like that.
That's great. Now, I want us to talk about this. So, looking at Africa, which model do you think is best for us? Democracy or autocracy? Which one do you think is best for us?
You see, the human being, and I'm not saying black man or African, the human being generally is a difficult person to manage. I'm a Christian,
right?
And I'll say that even in the Bible, we see how kings struggled to rule over their people. How God even told people that you are stiff-necked. You know, so human beings are difficult to manage, and that is why we need rules, and that's why there are laws, and that's why we have constitutions. Okay, I think that we need to have a set of laws that are balanced in terms of ensuring that development is attained, and also ensuring that we have a certain level of freedom. But where you give the human being too much freedom, they tend to misbehave. I think that currently, the kinds of freedom we are enjoying, they are too unfettered. I think that, yes, I mean, we are all enjoying it. It's fine. But you cannot enjoy freedom and have development at the same time. One will give way to the other. And you can check every country. Countries that enjoyed absolute freedom, they never had development. Countries that had development, they didn't entirely enjoy freedoms. So one must give way to the other. We all hail Paul Kagame of Rwanda. But if you go there, you notice that, yes, they have development, but they are not enjoying the kinds of freedoms we are enjoying, but they are not slaves. They are fine. They are not slaves. And so I think that we need to get to a point where we take the bold decision and say that we want development. Development comes at a certain cost.
Right.
And then we go at it. When the president does that, he will not enjoy 2 terms. He would only have 1 term. But at least he should be content that in my time I did XYZ and posterity will judge me well.
Exactly.
But where everybody is looking at enjoying political patronage, then nobody will take that bold step and will keep going around in circles.
That's great. That's great. Now let's go back a little bit.
Yes.
I want for our history student, and I love history. Take us through the revolution from the First Republic. We are in our Fourth Republic, from the coup, era into the constitution. I want us to take us through that journey.
Okay, so it's a bit interesting.
Yeah.
But you will notice that it's all calculated.
Right.
So in 24 February 1966, Nkrumah was overthrown. NLC was established. The NLC appointed somebody who was in charge of something we would today call this organization, the one next to Electoral Commission, the one that does political advocacy. So Dr. Buzia was appointed the political advisor of NLC, and his job was to.
Is it Imani Ghana?
No. It's a rich.
Oh, okay.
Next to the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
So he was appointed as the political advisor, and in his role, he became very popular because he was going around the country promoting democracy, and the new form of democracy we're going to have and all. And then when mind you, CBP had been banned, everybody connected to CPP had been banned, and so when the ban was lifted for political activity, they also said if you had anything to do with CPP, you cannot contest. If you have an MP, minister, anything, you can't contest. So the only person, obviously the most popular person was Buzia. Bedema, because he had been removed from government and he had run to exile, he was able to contest. He was the leader for now National Alliance of Liberals. He won his seat from Volta region, and he became the leader of the opposition. And so Buzia was the prime minister, and then Afrifa was the chairman for the Presidential Commission. After 1 year, in 1960 or 61, they organized they had the election, and then Yodwela Akufo-Addo became the president. And then in 1972, he was is that 61? 1971, sorry. He was elected as president. 1972, there was a coup by Colonel Achampong that overthrew the Buzia Progress Party government. Now, when Achampong became the president or the head of state, his intention initially was to bring back Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
That was his intention. But like it happens to all military men, once he came in and he was enjoying the largesse of power, he soon forgot about it. And he was enjoying himself. The first 3-4 years of the NRC, National Redemption Council government, was very good. He did a lot of things. Nasuman Estate, North Kaneshi Estate. There are a lot of development activities that he did.
Right.
But when he changed from NRC to SMC, Supreme Military Council, everything began to collapse.
Wow.
And all kinds of things came into the fore. Here again, he also suffered the issue of sabotage from the external forces. Ghana had a lot of loans, and when they were going for further loans, the IMF and the rest were unwilling to give us support, and so the government started crumbling under the weight of that trouble. Then in the midst of that is number 2. who was General Akufu, Fred Akufu, organized a Palace School. They went for a meeting one day. He told him, you know something, we have a sign that you have resigned. He said, for what reason? They insisted he had to sign that he had resigned, and then was escorted to his hometown in Ashanti, placed under house arrest, and then Akufu became the head of state. So that was SMC2.
Okay.
They were in office. Once they came into office, it didn't take long. Then they said they were taking us towards the road to democratic rule. Maybe one reason why Champon was overthrown also was Unigov. I'm sure you heard of it before.
Yeah.
Union government. He thought that we should have a certain system where politicians, the religious people, clergy, the professionals, the military, all will come together and form a government.
Okay.
And everybody else was angry about it except Achampon and his government. So when they had the referendum, Ghanaians voted against it, but somehow they forced the electoral commissioner to declare a result that was otherwise. When they finished, the electoral commissioner ran away. So that was it. So all of those went into his removal.
Okay.
So when Akufu came, he set the country back onto the route towards democracy. They did the constitution, they had the elections, and then just at the tip of having the elections, somebody burst onto the scene on 15th May 1979 to remove the government, but he wasn't successful. That person was Jerry John Rawlings and his friends, Major Boachijan and the rest. So when he was not successful, he was arrested, and of course, as a military man, he was going to be court-martialed. It means that he was being tried by the military system.
Yeah.
Whilst they were under military detention being tried, his colleagues managed to cause a breakout of the jail, and then they organized a coup. And so June 4, the coup was organized. Jerry was released. He didn't organize the coup because he was in jail.
Yeah.
So they organized the coup, and because he was a popular person, they put him in charge to gain acceptance. So from June 4 to September 24th, he was the head of state. They did something they called house cleaning, and then they handed over. There was something interesting about the handing over. On the day of the handing over, strangely, he didn't want to hand over again. So the program that was set to start at 9 o'clock started at 2 p.m. Eventually, Wachijan and Co managed to convince him, and they did a handing over. That's why he made the statement that the government was on trial.
Right.
And that if they didn't do well, he'll come again. And indeed, 31st December, he came again. 31st December 1981. So he came again for 19 years. And then early in the 1990s, Ghanaians were agitating for civilian rule. And the external systems were also pushing for it. US, France, Germany, and the rest were also pushing. And so the government began to feel the heat. And so they decided that Ghanaians should indicate whether they really wanted democracy. So the Justice Daniel Annan headed a team to go around the country to test the mood of Ghanaians. When they finished, they said, Ghanaians wanted a certain kind of democracy. And so they set up a committee to draw a constitution. In fact, to draft a constitution. That was chaired by a paramount chief in Ashanti, Nana Dr. SKB Asante. He's still around. They drafted a constitution, and then they brought together a consultative assembly with people from all over the place. The political opposition refused to join. Ghana Bar Association, Nooks, and the rest, they said they would not have anything to do with it because they didn't see why they should go and sit in the consultative assembly with fishermen and farmers and laborers and co. So they didn't. And these people went and drew the constitution. And then we had the constitution passed through a referendum. I think it was in May or June of 1991. And then we started, it was April 1991. Then we started the process towards democracy. Had the election, presidential election was on November 3rd, I remember. And then the parliamentary on the 29th or so of that same month, we voted for MPs. The MPP of today thought that the presidential election had been rigged. And so they boycotted the parliamentary. So when we went to first parliament of this republic, Fourth Republic, it was only NDC and two sister parties. MPP was not there. MPP joined in 1996, and then it's been like we've continued. So 2000, we had a election. Kufuor won with Aliu Mahama as his vice, and then after 8 years, Atamils, may he so rest in peace. Professor John Evans Atamils won, and then of course he didn't complete his term, his first term. His vice took over. And then he won in the election, and then he lost in 2016. Nana Akufo-Addo took over 8 years till 2024. And then here we are with JDM 2. So our history has been a bit checkered, but at least the fourth Republican experiment has lasted this long, from 1992, January 1993, all through till today, in spite of all the challenges that the Constitution has had. But I think that it's about time we look at that Constitution again and make it a workable Constitution as far as our development is concerned.
What are some of the fundamental things the Constitution you think needs changing?
I think that the first one is that it places too much power in the hands of the president. Just too much power in the hands of the president. And that will have to be cured. The second thing is that it makes, the way the Constitution is structured makes Parliament, even though the Constitution talks about separation of powers, so executive, Parliament, judiciary. But in practice, Parliament is a second fiddle to the executive.
That's true.
Because you can be an MP and be appointed a minister. And everybody wants to be minister because that carries clout. And so everybody wants to be an MP, not because he wants to be an MP, but because it's a route to becoming a minister. So it's all yeah. But when you go to democracies that work, people take the parliamentary structure as a career. So that's where they are, and that is the job they do. If you want to be a minister, you resign from Parliament, you go and be a minister. In that case, you can be properly accountable to. Now, can you imagine a system where a minister is a minister, you have an MP, and the MP is a chairman of a board of a company. Now, that board is has oversight by a minister. Then that same minister comes to Parliament to report to the Parliament. Whose chair, and that MP sitting in Parliament is the chairman of a board which is being supervised by a minister. What kind of checks and balances that? So ultimately, the MP sees the minister as his boss. And so that minister cannot come to Parliament and the MP takes him on. It wouldn't work. But that's what we are having now. And so that thing where MPs can be ministers will have to be cured.
I think I've heard conversations where, I think in the constitutional review, where people are saying that then if you're an MP in the new review, you can't be a minister. It should be.
The reason why MPs could become ministers is also because of 1979. 1979. If you're an MP, you can't be a minister. You're a minister, you can't be an MP. Can you imagine that the budget of President Liman had overwhelming majority in Parliament. His budget, 1981, was submitted and it was voted out by a Parliament with overwhelming majority being his own party people.
Wow. That's surprising.
It is that kind of, if you go and read about which minister was there, you understand the linkage to Fourth Republic. So if you look at these kinds of things, you would understand why you would want some MPs in government. But I think that in our case, it's been too unfettered. We need to create a certain synergy between Parliament and the executive. But we need to do it in such a way that it doesn't become too much like two people being in bed. It's not too good. The other thing about our Constitution has to do with Article 71. By the nature of the Article 71, it causes too many people to chop off the consolidated fund. And so the state ends up bleeding at the expense of development. Now, the other thing we are struggling with is decentralization. Currently, We have MMDCs, Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Chief Executives. Now, these are people who are nominated by the government and they are elected by the various assemblies where they are coming from. Now, when you are elected, imagine this government we are currently under the regime of the NDC government.
Yeah, NDC.
We know that, let me take a place like Kumasi. Kumasi is a stronghold of the political opposition today. Yeah. So clearly, all the MMDCs who are in Kumasi today are not typically NPP people. I can safely say they are NDC people.
Right.
But the assemblymen in those assemblies, I can safely also say are NPP people because they were voted by people who are predominantly NPP.
Exactly.
All right. So can you go to this assembly, the DCE or MCE is NDC, and all the majority of the rest of the assemblymen are NPP. You see that there's a certain rift.
Right.
Similarly, if it was NPP in government and you went to voter region, you see that it's almost like the position in government with government.
Yeah.
So I think that the best approach would have been let the people elect all the assemblymen, even elect the MCE. So that it is a mixed bag. You can have somebody who is CPP. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Let them just be elected. Eric Atasono elected. Whether it's blue or green or red, it doesn't matter. Then the government is forced to work with such people. In that case, the people are coming from their place. We are sure this is the person we want to work with, so we've elected him.
Yeah.
And the person works for us. If the person doesn't work the way we want him to work, we remove him.
Yeah.
As I sit here now, I don't know who is my MC. And I really, unfortunately, I really don't care. Because the person was brought by government.
Yeah, by government.
And he's sitting there. He knows I can't do anything to get him or her removed. So he's also, the person he's trying to please is the president and the minister of local government.
Yeah.
Not me. Because they are the ones who can remove him. I can only scream and shout. It ends there. But if he knows that I can remove him, when I tell him that this road is bad, he will think about it twice. So now if the president is coming, then we'll make sure all the roads are paved, all the potholes are touched, because the president he's the one who is appointing him.
Yeah.
But it's not about the people who are there.
Yeah.
Some time ago, when Recruit Robe had a political party, his motto was, it's all about the people. And that's the kind of mindset we should all have.
Yeah.
Politics, governance is all about the people.
Yeah.
And until we begin to see it like that, our constitution should be about the people.
The people.
Not the people as in 1960 constitution. Because the constitution started, it's all about, it's a we the people, but it's nothing about we the people. Our constitution now starts, we the people. But it's not like that.
And I think it's in the right direction. The president called for the review of the...
Yeah, it's a very good call. I'm only hoping that will run the full course.
Yeah.
Because when President Atta Mills was the president, he also started one. Unfortunately, in his case, there were two problems. He passed. The second thing was that I think the framework wasn't done right. So people questioned the framework.
The framework, yeah.
It had to go to parliament. I think there was a problem with the route.
Yeah.
But the current president has learned from that.
Yeah.
So he's using the right approach. I hope that it ends before he finishes his term.
That's the
once he's not able to do it, the next government will not touch it.
Trust me. Right. This has been a very insightful history class. The best history class I've ever attended. Now, finally, before we get into your book, finally about our whole history in Nkrumah. If Nkrumah wasn't overthrown, what do you think Ghana would be today?
I would say if he had not been overthrown, or Nkrumah could not have been president till today. Certainly not. I'm sure he would have died.
Yeah.
But if Nkrumah had been given probably another 4 or 5 years, I believe that Ghana would have been placed on a much better level where our economic trajectory would have been a lot more secured. Yes. Right. Because we are talking at 66. By 1970, political democracy has stabilized in Africa.
Right.
I mean, you can't help somebody gain independence twice. So once all these countries have gained their independence, the focus would have been much more on African unity, which he was pursuing.
Yeah.
From the way he was going, within a year or two, would have attained that one. and the focus would then have been domestic. At the time he had been overthrown, we had gotten Akosombo Dam, right?
Yes.
It was inaugurated in 65.
Yeah.
We had gotten the Accra Tema motorway, linking the two cities.
Yeah.
Tema was the industrial hub. Accra was the capital.
Yeah.
He had established the educational, the research hub. You know the research hub?
Yeah.
From Tetekwashi to University of Ghana. So you have Ghana Standards Authority there. You have CSIR there. You have Atomic Energy there. You have University of Ghana there. You have Academy of Arts and Sciences. That was the research hub.
Right.
So he was setting up what was going to be the base for our development.
Right.
And unfortunately, he was overthrown. So it was almost like somebody putting the puzzle together. And then halfway through putting the puzzle together, he's removed. The next person that comes will struggle a while to piece the thing because he doesn't even know what he's piecing together.
Exactly.
So if he had been given a little more time, I believe he would have been able to piece the puzzle together. And once the puzzle is there, anybody that came beyond him will be able to fly with the system.
And finally, on Nkrumah, do you think his vision for One Africa is possible?
You know that the United States of America is now a federation, but it wasn't a federation.
Right.
A number of people painstakingly came together and decided that America should be brought together as a federation of states. Today, when Nkrumah was talking about African unity, we didn't have the European Union. In fact, we didn't have
African Union.
European in the way it is today. We only had the EEC, European Economic Community, which was, I think, about 9 or 10 countries meeting together like the way we have ECOWAS today. But today, we have European Union. You take one Schengen visa and it can run you through all the countries.
Yeah.
That was the kind of thing Nkrumah wanted to do. And so if European Union is possible today, if United States of America is possible, African Union is possible. In fact, we are a lot more connected than they.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you go to the border towns towards the Volta region, those people are partially from Togo and they're from Ghana. They don't know border. They cross and do their thing and come back.
Yeah.
When you go to the western side, the Nzema area, when you go to across the border, you see that they are the same as the Nzema people.
Yeah.
When you go the same, the Bono, when you cross from German area, cross into Cote d'Ivoire, same thing. When you cross Paga and get into Burkina, same people. And so if they have been able to do it, we could have done it a lot more better.
Yeah.
The only thing was that maybe he didn't explain it a lot better for us to fully appreciate.
Yeah.
And so we played mischief with it and we didn't get there.
Yeah.
But it's not too late. If we want to be minded, we'll get there.
Thank you. It's possible. Thank you very much. So Rick, let's get into, you're an author of many books. Please tell us the number of books you've written, you've published, and where we can find it. Because I, for one, would want to read your especially your book on Nkrumah. Okay. So please tell us.
So I have 7 books. Only one of it is political. one of it is a Christian book. 2 of them are my thoughts put together.
Okay.
Published thoughts put together in 2 volumes. One of them is a storybook. One of them is almost like a biography for young people. Right. So there are different kinds of books. Maybe for the sake of our discussion, I'll just introduce this one as it's a book on Kwame Nkrumah, Africa's Man of the Millennium. It took me 20 years to write this.
Wow, 20 years.
I started writing it in late 1999.
Wow.
And published it in 2020.
Wow.
Yes.
What was the motivation for this particular book?
So in 1999, BBC, in fact, BBC had named Kwame Nkrumah as Africa's Man of the Millennium. Now, this is somebody who died in 1972, overthrown in 1966. And then in 1999, after how many years, how many decades, named as Africa's Man of the Millennium. At that time, there was Mandela. There was Kofi Annan. There were all of those big shots.
Yeah.
And he said Kwame Nkrumah, who has died, decades back.
Yeah.
So I got a bit intrigued. What is so special about this man?
Yeah.
That BBC would name him as the Africa's man of the millennium when there were greats who were still alive.
Right.
And in trying to read about him, I was making notes. And the more I was making the notes, the more I was getting excited. Before I realized I had written two, no three.
The notary.
I'd written two of them. Notes. So I just said that, well, let me get, I was doing my national service. So I said, let me get a colleague who was a secretary by training to help me type. She typed everything. It looked exciting. Then a certain friend of mine picked it and read it. And before I realized, he told me somebody, a certain professor, Kofi Awono, wanted me to see me. I said, Kofi Awono. If you know Kofi Awono, he was the chairman of the Council of State when President Atta was president.
Okay.
He said he wanted to see me. About what? I saw this man and he says, oh, he's read the book and he's excited about it. He wants me. In fact, they wanted to buy the copyright.
Wow.
The Republic wanted to buy the copyright of the book.
Wow.
And so I met a committee led by the then Minister of Information. And but the meeting, I didn't know that was the issue to be discussed.
Yeah.
So I wasn't psychologically ready for that discussion. So I'd asked them to buy a little bit of time. When I went, I lost interest. But I later met Professor Awono, and then he still talked about the book. And the way he spoke about it, I thought I should publish it. So I asked him to write the foreword, which he willingly did. Unfortunately, he died a few years after in some bomb blast in Kenya.
Oh.
And then the book was there. In 2019, I just thought that let me dust it and publish it. And the COVID came, and then it was a blessing. It gave me a lot of time to work on it, and then finally I published it. So 20-year project.
Fantastic. This is amazing.
Let me just say this. The other reason why I did this was I thought every book I had read on Kwame Nkrumah was either demonizing him or praising him. And no human being can be a demon and an angel at the same time. So I thought there was something had to come in to balance it out.
Yeah.
So after reading all of those books, I thought, okay, let me put out I didn't live Kwame Nkrumah. I have no relationship with him. I am not an Nkrumahist. Let me write it the way I have read and what I have seen.
Right.
And so that's what I put together.
Fantastic.
So if you read the book, you notice that there are portions that are unkind to Nkrumah, and there are portions that praise him.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Fantastic. Where can we get a copy of this?
It's available at Booknook, www.booknook.store. It's an online.
Okay, we're gonna put the link on the
www.booknook.store.
video.
You contact them; they will deliver it to you.
Fantastic. Is there any contact they can call to if anyone wants to get in touch with you? Because once this interview gets out there, Prof, I'm sure people are really going to get in touch with you.
0243-821-447. So you can reach this number or directly contact Booknook, www.booknook.store.
Fantastic.
And they will deliver it to you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
so much for your time.
I'm grateful.
Thank you for sharing this experience with us. That's been very insightful. And for the young generation out there like myself, that we came to meet this whole history, we've been taught a lot from this session, and it's really going to help us see things in a different perspective. So thank you so much for making the time.
I'm grateful.
Viewers, thank you so much for making the time to watch this episode. This has been your history class with Beyond the Surface. I want to hear your comments. Please put in your comment in the comment section, subscribe, and we'll see you on our next episode. My name is Enoch and I am your host.